I went to uni up in Lancaster.
That's what I was going to ask about uni. How can you compare Lancaster to here?
Yeah, it was interesting actually because I really liked Lancaster because it's also a really small city. Like it's really tiny, you can walk everywhere. Like, and the university has a campus, so it felt like quite a safe place to go in a way. It didn't feel like moving to like London or Manchester or something where it'd be this really big bustling place. I kind of picked another like small place to go to.
So did that remind you of Ipswich in a way?
I think so, yeah. Like not sort of consciously, but I think certainly once I got there, I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of got that kind of smallish place feeling. Although I mean Ipswich isn't that small, but then I was working at the Salt House in the restaurant there, and then I went full time at the pub. And then since then I've been, because my husband runs the Thomas Wolsey. So since we've had kids and things and moved out, I do like the bookkeeping and admin side of things now.
Yeah. So we were actually sat with Thomas Wolsey now.
Yeah.
So did you meet your husband here?
Yeah. That's how I met him. So we sort of just started off as friends and then eventually got together. So yeah.
So how do you enjoy pub life?
Yeah, I loved it. I'm trying to change things and do things. You know, the independent shops and St Peter's Street, which we're on, is like great. They do like markets and things, and they're always trying to do like really important things for the town.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice sort of strip here because you've got like Hullabaloo across the road.
Yeah, which is lovely.
And then sort of craft shops, and you're not far. You're actually right in between the waterfront and town centre.
Yeah.
So you must get sort of a fair bit of passing trade through both. And I'm 40, and I spent my youth drinking in Ipswich.
Yeah.
I did work, I wasn't just but it was always town centre, whereas now I think it's more being led to the waterfront.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing, the trade's still there.
Yeah.
Did you venture down to the waterfront? Have you seen it grow over the last 10 years?
Yeah, I think it's definitely changed a lot, sort of from when I went to uni and then when I came back, and then like you say, the last 10 years it's definitely changed a lot, I think the waterfront is sort of the place to be, isn't it, most of the time, although there's obviously great spots in other places, and you've got Arcade Street and Three Wise Monkeys like that side of town, and there's sort of little pockets everywhere.
Poetry is what I wanted to talk about. You've just had a book published?
Yeah, it's called Home Baked, published by Bent Key Publishing, which is like a sort of brand new like micro publisher. They're actually based near Manchester, and I sort of connected with them online. And that just came out at the end of April, so quite recently.
Yeah. Was a book something you was looking to do, or did it come from various writings?
Yeah, I've sort of written poetry on and off since I was a teenager, really. And then I kind of started taking it a bit more seriously last year, really. It was like during the lockdown of 2021 at the start. And I found like this sort of online community of the like Mum Poet Club, like other parents and writing, you know, their experiences in poetry and posting it on Instagram. And so I started doing that, and then from that I was like, oh, maybe I'll see if I can get it published, and sort of had things on online journals and zines and stuff. And then I kind of was like, maybe I should try and put a book together, because it's...
Do you get a lot of inspiration from any, like the local area or people? Or
yeah, I don't tend to write that much about nature or anything. It's not really sort of the way I write. I tend to write about people and family and things like that, but certainly I've written some poems about like being in a pub and the kind of the atmosphere, things like that. I think it's definitely an inspiration, like the people around you.
One thing I was going to say, the central, but is there any places in Suffolk that you'd recommend, places you love? Other than the pub?
With the kids, one of the places we always go is Hollow Trees Farm, out sort of near Hadley Way.
Yeah.
We love it there. They always do, especially like in the school holidays, they always have really cool like activity things on, and so you can go and like the kids absolutely love it. Like, I mean, to be honest, mine aren't that interested in the animals. They just go and like want to play in the play area, and then they put on like, they'll do like mini golf and little like slide things and like karting and stuff. Like, they love it. So that's somewhere, that I definitely recommend, like with kids. And then, well, I suppose we don't tend to get out that often for drinking and stuff now, but if we do, like we live near the Woolpack, so that's always good.
Where do you see the next sort of 5 years? This is like a job interview. Plans for the future.
Yeah, well, I think I've sort of like I say, the only work I've been doing the last kind of 6-7 years, like since I've had kids, has been like admin and bookkeeping and things for the pub. And obviously, eventually, I'd quite like to go into some kind of career that's a bit more full time. So I am considering, I'd really love to work in libraries, and obviously that kind of connects with the writing and stuff as well. So I'm looking into that at the moment. I think I'll probably try and volunteer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Any plans for maybe another book?
Yeah, I think so. I think sort of now that I've started, I don't know if I'll stop really. I think, yeah, definitely. I've already sort of got ideas of like another project I'd like to do, like with more poetry. Sort of thinking about maybe a more kind of, like the book I've done has been all about family, and I think I'm kind of thinking of doing something more on like feminism and a bit